All right, let's do it. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. I am going to be talking today about summer sets. I have been working on the cozy set top and shorts, and I'm going to show my progress on that. I finished the shorts. I'm almost done with the top. And then I wanted to share a bundle that I put together on sets for the summer. So let's get it going with a little summer montage. Summer loving, having a blast. Editing Tracy, you can go ahead and put that together and make it make sense. Thank you. First of all, I would love to put in a request for Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso to be the song of the summer again, because I know it now, so I can participate in the culture. So I would love for us to make that happen as a community. Thank you. Let's get into it. So last we spoke, I had been finishing up my cozy set shorts, and I thought they were going to be a bit big. And as far as the waist goes, they were, but I was supposed to make some sort of like I-cord, what would you call that? Cord? And I chose not to do that, but instead I put some elastic, both, so this front top part is folded over, so I put some elastic down at the bottom here, and then I kind of ran it through the top up here. So they fit very comfortably now, and they're so cute. It's Knitting for Olive, cotton merino, soft mint, can't go wrong. The one issue, I talked a little bit about how I had a couple issues with the pattern because I'm a novice knitter, so there were some things that weren't explicitly spelled out, and that made it a little bit trickier for me. One of the things is at the bottom of the shorts, because you are casting off and putting on hold some stitches, and then you're meant to sew them up at the end. I know how to sew knits up in a way that is seamless, and yet I didn't do it, and there was no instructions in terms of how to do it. And for some reason I did it from the back, and so I have this like weird, where's this camera? I have this weird line going down. Sorry, just reminds me of a body part that you might be familiar with. Anyway, it's not that bad because you can't actually see it, but if I were to make these again, I'd obviously look up some way to do that a little bit more seamlessly. But otherwise, they're not that long. They come up to probably, yeah, just a little past my belly button. And then they're like little hot pants, which is very fun. And so I didn't have enough yarn to do the top in the same color, but I mentioned this last video. I'm choosing to do it in this color that is called anemone, Japanese anemone, in the Knitting for Olive cotton merino. I love this color, this very cool toned pink. It is exactly in my color palette. In fact, why don't I show you my color palette? I'm genuinely gonna show you my phone, and yet I know that I can put it right here. But here's here's the more difficult version to see. Yep, none of those colors are really reading the way that they're supposed to, but this is a terrible idea. Why am I doing this? I'll put it up here. These are the colors that are meant to look best on me. And actually, there is a place in Midtown that I have been really wanting to go to that does color typing. And they do the thing where they put the fabric over you, and then they have this green, and then maybe they'll have a warm tone green, and they're kind of like looking. And it's been my dream to do that. So I am going to do that and have my color confirmed or maybe changed, or maybe there are some like better colors. I've seen some places that will say, well, you're summer dominant, but you can also wear these spring colors because you're light, and there are light colors in summer and spring. The point is that if I do that, I don't know that I'm gonna vlog it, because I'm just a weird gal. So I can't imagine that I can go in and riz the staff and, you know, manage to get good footage. Because I'm just gonna sneak on in. I'll have an appointment, but I don't know. I feel like I'm just a little. This life of vlogging, it's best done in the home where I can edit things like what I just did out. So we'll take care of that. So anyway, the point being that I'm nearly done with this top. I'm working in the back now, and then I will work the front, and then I will work the straps, and then it will be done. I think for the bust, for the actual, like, the area for the breasts, I'm going to double up on the yarn, because feeling this yarn, it's very comfortable. I'm just not sure, even though it's going to be a cozy set, I'd like to have just a little bit more coverage, and I don't need to wear a bra. It doesn't seem like a particularly bra-friendly pattern, but just in case, I'm gonna wear it out on the town to make sure that I feel comfortable wearing it, essentially. And then the last part of that set that I'm gonna put together is a cardigan using those colors that I happened to have already. I had a frog, these patterns, they were the first vests that I made, and I wasn't knitting properly. I was yarning over when I was knitting instead of like around. And so all of my stitches were slanted, which was very silly. But I frogged those two. They were way too big too, because I didn't swatch, and then after I blocked them, they were far too big on me, which is a look, is a style that I fully appreciate, but I just wasn't wearing them. And I really like the idea of matching them with this set. I frogged them, and I didn't bother to make appropriate size balls. So here we go. This is what we have. But this is so wild. It's a pretty good color match. It's not exact, but it's gonna be fun for a set. This is a wildly appropriate picture. It's about, I was trying to, this is the ADHD. I was doing this and realizing it's so hard to figure out how to move things when the camera is backwards, and I was trying to fix my hair, and it was a journey. It was taking a while. I'm gonna be getting it cut and styled, and I told my hairstylist any cut he wants, any style he wants, any color he wants, and I gave him the colors, which Again, you can't really see that. Or if you can, they're not the colors that I see exactly on my phone. But we're going to see what happens and what comes of the hair. We're 10 minutes into this video, and I'm somebody who is very impatient to get to the patterns. And so I said, I'm not going to be that person who just talks about my life. I'm just going to get right to the patterns. What are you going to do? Here we are. So, to finish the thought, I am going to knit the, got it. I got it. It's right here. I am going to knit the Cardigan Leon by Mochi Knits, which is a bulky weight pattern, and I'm going to do half in the green and half in the pink. So when I wear it with the set, you get the green and the pink and the fun, all that fun stuff. I also, I thought that I was so organized. I said, I have the bundle, I have the yarn, I have my whip, I have my finished objects. I did not bring out my acquisitions, which is just one, but it is from Brooklyn Tweed, which I had learned a couple weeks ago is not going to be selling yarn anymore, which is a bummer because I had worked with their yarn and liked it, and now they're not going to be selling it anymore. So I grabbed a sweater quantity of yarn for what's going to be the Zachary cardigan that I've talked about before. And y'all, okay, give me 3 more minutes and we're getting into the patterns. I got fully into buttons yesterday. It started when I went thrifting. I bought a coat for $6 and it was missing several buttons. And I said, that's okay, because I can sew on some buttons and I can find some cute ones. And I went on Etsy, and y'all, when I tell you I went down the rabbit hole of these buttons, I don't even know what I'm going to do with half of these buttons, but I know that they're bringing me joy. I'm going to tell you the Etsy store now. I haven't received them yet. It seems like it's out of the United States, maybe in the UK. So I will give you an update when I do receive them. Browser. There are some apps that I just can't have on my phone because I'll go on Etsy all the time and buy too many things. And so Poshmark is another one. I can't have the Poshmark app on my phone. Okay, purchases. One of my friends was like, I can't believe that you're in your late 30s. I thought that you were so much younger. Well, Jess, you can watch this video and watch me navigating this phone after I took a full coding class and proved that I kind of know technology. And you'll see it. You'll see it. Okay, the name of the store is Tranquilment. There's that pronunciation that you know and love from me. I'll put it in the description box below, but it's all of these fabric covered buttons and they're so cute. So I bought some with intention and I bought some with pure love. So I'm very much looking forward to using those. Anyway, 15 minutes in. Let's start the video. I need the phone again because we're doing sets. We're doing sets. So I want to kick it off with this set uses an Aran weight. So I don't know that it's fully summer, but it is a t-shirt and skirt. So depending on the yarn composition, you can probably wear it, and also depending on your location. But I thought this pattern was really sweet. And also an Aran yarn, that's gonna knit up real fast, baby. Oh, go back to the intro. I forgot one more thing. In case you're wondering, I did not knit this. I bought it from Ozma of California a couple years ago. It's a brand that I like, that I can't purchase a lot from. I can purchase whatever I want within my financial means, but they do a lot of earth tones, so it doesn't really fit into my style. But this one was nice and neutral, kind of gray. Anyway, the point is, Ozma from California, I'm sure that I could knit this. It's super cute. It's 100% cotton. It's a very nice brand. Back to the video. Okay. This is called the Toscana T-shirt by Maria Bergman. And it is knit up in an Aran weight yarn using a US 8 knitting needle, and is available in sizes XS to 4XL. And there is no, work. This pattern is available as a free Ravelry download. Y'all, get on it. How about the skirt? The Toscana skirt is also free. Y'all, this is a fun surprise. This is a fun surprise. I am planning to wait on this one because I don't have the yarn picked out, but I just love this set. I'm really into the yellow that is in the example picture. Not for me. I'm also aware that this butter yellow color is trending. I, again, think that you should wear whatever you want, whatever makes you feel good. I will say that I have seen a number of videos, not just from the knitting community, but like the fashion YouTube community, where people will purchase trend colors and then say, I never wear it. It's so cute. It's just when I wear it, I don't really like the way I look. So what I might suggest is thinking about maybe the trend color and looking at maybe sort of more like the different tones and which one you might feel most comfortable wearing. So for example, butter yellow, I don't really have any yellow in my wardrobe. I might experiment with it, but my yellow is going to be very green leaning. Again, why don't I show you this picture that you can't make heads or tails of? There it is. I think you can kind of get the idea. You can argue that it's a yellowish green or a greenish yellow, but the point is that it's not a full yellow. And so if I want to knit that trend or purchase that trend, I might say, okay, this is the trend. How can I make it fit into my style and my color palette? Again, just because that's what I want to do. You want to wear butter yellow? Wear butter yellow. Live Left, wear butter yellow. That's just a suggestion that I have. And that's it. Okay, this pattern is free. This pattern is cute. This pattern is fairly size inclusive. This pattern is worth giving a try, in my opinion. Moving on. So I also found the Anholt Slipover and the Anholt Skirt by Kit Couture. There is Kit Couture, if you look in their Ravelry store, they have a lot of, what would you call it, collections. And so if you're not into the slipover, they have a sweater. I think they might have a t-shirt too. There's a couple of different options for mixing and matching. They also have a bunch of different patterns. This was just the one that resonated the most with me. But if you are interested in sets, when I say pattern, I meant sets. If you're interested in sets, I would check out Kit Couture for sets. Okay. It is knit up in a DK weight using US 2.5 and 4 needles. You wouldn't say millimeters because it's a 3 millimeter. It's a US size 2.5. Well, you can tell me. The sizes are available in an XS to a 2XL with a chest circumference of 80 to 130 centimeters. And not seeing positive ease recommendation, but it's there. You can see that there's positive ease. What I like about this pattern is it looks like there's some sort of garter stitch in the middle for both the top and the bottom. I think that's so interesting. First of all, easy. I don't mind a purl. I don't mind a purl moment. I know it's not everybody's favorite. And so this is kind of a fun take on that by incorporating it into the design and also just probably making the knitting experience a little bit faster, unless you're going in the round. I don't know. I haven't purchased it yet, but I will. How do you like that? Oh, I have been forgetting to add the pricing, and so if anyone's interested, the top is $9.46, and the skirt is $6.94, and that is in US dollars. So I've talked about the cozy set top. That's another one that is in this bundle. So it will also be linked. Like I said, I'm having a good experience. The top is, and I think just by nature of me having knit more tops, makes more sense pattern-wise than the shorts did. But now that I know the construction of shorts, it will make a lot more sense for me for the future. The next pattern is the flutter butt shirt and the flutter butt shorts. I have been admiring Jessie Made Designs from afar. I have a lot of patterns saved and favorited, but I have yet to purchase them. I love the style. I love how size inclusive it is. So this is knit up on a fingering weight yarn with US size 6 and 8 needles. And The sizes range from XS to 5XL, which is a measurement of 20, well, okay, we did it in centimeters, so let's keep it in centimeters. 81 to 158 centimeters. It is, the top is $10 and the bottom is $9. Oh, I was just assuming that they were knit up in the same. The bottom is knit. Every time I think that I am prepared for these videos, I'm not. There's something else. Tracy, you have to tell the audience the information for the bottoms as well. The flutter butt shorts are also in a fingering weight using only US size 8 needles and range from an XS to 5X with a measurement of 58.5 to 127 centimeters for the waist. Okay. I'm not going to go back because we're already 26 minutes in, but the information is obviously in the Ravelry bundle. If you like the look of the pattern, if you like the designer, you can feel free to check out the bundle. The next pattern are the camisole number 6 and the shorts number 1 by My Favorite Things Knitwear. These are knit up. So the top is a light fingering plus a light fingering to make a worsted. Can someone please explain to me, I understand that it's not an exact science when we're mixing these yarns, but a light fingering and a light fingering to make a worsted. I mean, at the end of the day, you just want to meet gauge. So whatever works for you to get there. I just don't, it doesn't compute in my mind, but I'm not the designer, so that's the difference. It is knit with a US size 6 needle and ranges from size XS to XXL, which is a circumference of 73 to 107 centimeters, which is meant to be worn with a negative ease of 5 to 7 centimeters. It doesn't look very negative easy to me. I think that's pretty common of My Favorite Things knitwear, where it's just a bit oversized. Again, I haven't knit any of those patterns either, but when I look at that, I'm not seeing the negative ease. I'm not seeing it, but I suppose that's what's available. Okay, the shorts is just in a fingering weight, so this one doesn't recommend holding it together, and this tracks for me when I think about the set that I did where I was talking about. So this is just in that light fingering, and it's fine, and also because of the color, there's coverage, right? We're not seeing any panties. But for the top, I mean, there is coverage, but it's just, I mean, I haven't blocked it, but it seems a little bit looser, so I probably would double up. And I think that's just going to make the top a little bit more structured and a little bit more wearable. So the shorts are knit up in a US size 6 needle, and the size range is from XS to XXL. The waistband is 80 to 117 centimeters. And this one is, this is so embarrassing for me. Okay, so KR, the money, is a money that I should be familiar with, but I'm not. Okay, it's a Swedish krona. And so these are 50 krona. And so let's see what that is to USD. USS. 37, okay? 37 years old. Tracy, stop saying that. No one's going to hire you. $5.15. Okay. $5.15, and I left Ravelry to try and figure that out. Here we are. So the shorts are $5.15, and as is the top. Moving on, because we're 30 minutes in. She had a lot to say today, baby. The next is the Lost Tank and the Lost Shorts by Friday Knits. It is a knit up in a fingering weight yarn with a US size 3 needle. That's for the top. Size ranges XS to 4XL, which is 71 to 147 centimeters. And this is another one where there is a collection. So I believe there's a camisole as well. I personally liked the tank a little bit better, but that is also available if you go on Friday Knits' Ravelry store. The shorts are a fingering weight. They are knit up in a US size 2 and 3 needles with a size range of XS to 4XL, which is a waist measurement of 52 to 122 centimeters. These shorts are 12 Australian dollars, which is about $8.04, about exactly $8.04, as is the top. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Next up is the thin sweater and a thin skirt by Wool and Beyond. It is knit up in a fingering weight using, I'm never going to knit this, 2.5 and 0 needles. Girl, gorgeous. It's not going to happen anytime soon. Gorgeous. The sizes are available from XS to 4XL, which is a chest circumference of 82 to 142 centimeters, and it is 85 krona, which is $9.17 for the top, and these shorts are the same price, and they are knit in a 2.5 and 1.5, never gonna happen, needle size with a fingering weight yarn, size ranging from XS to 4XL, which is a waist circumference of 65 to 120 centimeters. It's so gorgeous. I think because I'm a newer knitter too, there's so many things that I want to knit and have in my wardrobe that I'm not patient enough to knit something that is going to take so long. Maybe eventually, but not soon. Next up is the Agerso cardigan. Nailed it. And it is a cardigan and a short set, and it is by Kit Couture. Okay, great. So this is a fingering weight pattern that is knit up in 1.5 and 2.5. What am I doing? Listen, maybe you want it. Maybe you have the patience that I don't, and I would love to see the work that you do. This is available in sizes XS to 2XL, which is a chest circumference of 73 to 112 centimeters. The shorts, which are also knit up in a fingering weight on 1.5 and 2.5 US size needles, are available in size XS to 2XL, which is a waist circumference of 63 to 105 centimeters. One day when I've knit my entire wardrobe and I say, what else could I want in this world? I will say, the Agerso cardigan and short set, because I've got the time. It is $6.94 for the top and $6.94 for the bottoms. The next one is very conveniently combined as a set. It is the Pico Summer Set by Amelie Nernst. It is knit up in a sport weight yarn on US size 2.5 needles, and the sizes available are XS to XXL, which is a chest circumference of 80 to 120 centimeters and a waist circumference of 65 to 90 centimeters. And it is $7.89. So aside from that free pattern, it's probably the cheapest one available, I believe, from my bundle. And I'm doing the Pico Edge with this set. I think it's really cute. It's subtle. It's just a little bit, I guess, feminine without being overly so. I like to experiment with sort of like maybe gender fluid sort of styles. I mean, fashion is for everybody. Wear what you want to wear. It's the same, it's the same theory that I carry for all fashion theory. Wear what you want to wear. But with the understanding that in our society, there are things that are categorized as more feminine and more masculine. And so the Pico Edge just has that kind of cutesy, slightly more feminine vibe to it. So, I don't know what this energy is, but there's peaks and there's valleys. And if you are 38 minutes in and you're still trekking along, thank you. What I'd like to do now is I have 2 more patterns, well, 4 more patterns, but 2 more sets that are not meant to be sets, but I think that they would look great together. So the first one is the Baby Tee by Wool and Beyond. And it is knit up in a fingering weight on needle size, US needle size 2.5 and 1.5. And the size ranges from XS to 4XL. It is $9.17. And the chest circumference is 72 to 132 centimeters. Nope, there is no waist circumference because we didn't get to that part yet. I love the Baby Tee. I've talked about this pattern before. It has this interesting like cut underneath, under the armpit, which I actually like because if you're sweating, all of that sweat is going to go directly into the fibers. And that's never a joy for anyone. And so I like that there's this little slit because it makes it more breathable, because this is obviously a shirt that has negative ease, -8 centimeters to be exact. And the pattern, the bottoms that I matched it with, partly because they use, well, first, it's the same designer, it's Wool and Beyond, and they used seemingly the same colors, so I just connected that in my brain. But I do also see this as a nice matching set. It is the First Flirt skirt. First Flirt skirt. Nailed it on the first try. $8.63. It is knit up in an Aran weight on US 7 and 6 needles with a size range of XS to 4XL. The waist ranges from 70 to 125 centimeters. I would love to try this pattern together, especially because the skirt is knit up in an Aran weight, and so it'll go a lot quicker. If you do the shirt first, you might feel like you're lacking motivation to do the bottoms, but if they're knit up in an Aran weight, it's going to go a lot faster, so that might be easier to do. The last pattern. Wow, everybody, real heroes for sticking around for this one. I think the patterns are great. I don't know what's going on with this whole thing, but we're learning. I'm trying to get in my mind. I noticed when I was editing the last video, I said, Tracy, you're saying a lot. And maybe other people won't notice it, but it's bothering you. And you're a professional speaker to an extent. So maybe you can work on cutting out the ums. Give that little Obama pause where you can just seem a little more thoughtful. So that's what I'm trying to do, and I think I'm expending an amount of energy on that, as well as just figuring out sort of how I want to organize these videos. So I think they're getting better. I hope they're getting better. For you, I'm going to keep making them, so please watch. Anyway, the last set is the Aloe Top by Le Pool. It is grabbing onto my knee because I'm just like, what am I doing? Who am I? Who am I? We're focused. $7.06. It is knit up in a DK weight on US size 6 and 7 needles, size ranging from XS to 4XL, which is a chest measurement of 78 to 134 centimeters. I had previously looked at and considered knitting the kawaii top, which I think is still very cute, but in terms of my personal style, I do like this one a little bit better for my wardrobe because it does have that boxiness, which I think helps to sort of balance out the frills. I like the frills. I just am not somebody who wears frills regularly. Sequins, yes. I am Liza. I strive to be Liza. Liza! I can't think of a thing she says, but boy, do I love her. Okay. The aloe top. So I actually very briefly started knitting this one up in the Knitting for Olive Pure Silk in the poppy blue that I went on a journey with this yarn, and I still haven't 100% decided, but I was gonna knit a dress, and then I thought it's in silk, it's not gonna it's not gonna like keep its shape, and then so I thought a boxier dress, and then I thought, but it's such a beautiful yarn, I want it to be really special. So if I'm gonna take the time to knit a dress, I want it to be the dress that I want and not the dress that is convenient. And then I said, what if we just do a top instead? And I started knitting this top, and then I thought, it's so boxy that the yarn isn't going to be touching my skin that much. And not for nothing, if I'm buying this silk, let it touch my body. Do you know what I mean? Leave this one for a yarn that might be a little bit scratchier, where you still want the look of the yarn, but you don't really want it touching your skin directly. That's my thought. Okay, 46 minutes in. Come on, Tracy, under an hour. The matching bottoms that I would recommend to go with this top are the Copenhagen pants by Milena Junhola. And, oh, okay, so these are $8.82 knit up in a worsted weight, which is great because they're pants. And I was ready to run away from this pattern, but I just love, again, it's mimicking the top in that we have that boxy sort of, would I call it? Yeah, I would call it like a straight leg jean and then the flare. Okay, so it's a flare jean. But we have that straight and then that flare with the frill at the bottom. So I think that these would be so cute together. It is, okay, worsted weight, US size 10. Yeah. Oh, wow. Okay, great. This is so doable. The size range is from 1 to 9, which is a waist circumference of 46 to 112 centimeters. And so, yeah, I will definitely be knitting this set in the future, so I can let you know how it goes. Okay, we did it. Thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. I had an idea. Listen, if you got to the end of this video, you absolutely deserve it. If you like and comment on this video, I'm gonna try a giveaway. We're a new channel. We're trying to bring in subscribers. We're trying to bring in people. The host can't do it on her own, and that's very clear to you as the viewer now. So I'm gonna give you things to interact with my channel. I will be giving away one of these sets, a set of your choice, if you like and subscribe to this video. And I am gonna do my best to bring the consistent energy that you all deserve in the future. And as always, I don't know how to sign off, so bye. See you.